Okay, so let's look at the next property, which is voltage regulation, which will tell you the difference between no load and full load DC voltage. So it is defined as DC voltage at no load minus DC voltage at full load divided by DC voltage at full load. Okay, no load voltage means when there is no load at the output. Okay, and at that point of time there won't be any current because it's open circuit, and if there won't be any current, there won't be any drop across any element. Even if we have RF forward resistance of this diode, there won't be any drop across the resistance because the current is not there, it's open. So whatever the voltage, secondary voltage will be, that voltage will appear everywhere. Okay, because it is open circuit, and that voltage is called as no load voltage. Okay, now there is one more voltage called full load voltage, when there will be a load. So whatever the voltage across load will be called as full load voltage, full load, and we have to see the DC voltages of these. Okay, these two voltages. In this case there is no load, so whatever the secondary voltage is appearing at the uh, load side. Okay, since there is no load, here the secondary voltage is different, here the full load voltage is different. Okay, they are not same because the forward resistance, secondary resistance will also be there, the load resistance will also be there, so there will be difference in this voltage and this voltage, whereas here there won't be any difference because it's open and there won't be any current flowing through this. So that's why we will see the regulation. Means ideally this voltage, this value should be 0 or 0%. There should be very less fluctuation between the voltages of no load and full load. Okay, that's how you can imagine. When you apply a load, there should not be much change in the DC voltage across this. Okay, and ideally it should be 0, and mostly it lies between 1 to 10 values depending upon the circuit, and we will see how we can calculate for that. So since we are knowing the secondary voltage is the same as this guy, here it will be appearing, but full load voltage will be DC voltage, we will calculate and we will see. Okay, just a way to show you how, what is the difference between these voltages, and divide by VDC full load. So this is same as this guy. So now I will plug the value for half wave rectifier. This is the standard definition. I will calculate VDC for no load, VDC for full load, and plug the value for half wave rectifier. Okay, let's see. Okay, now what will happen? We will calculate VDC at no load. So no load will look like this. This voltage we know Vm sin omega t. This voltage will be same as this guy, but there is a diode here. So it will chop off the negative half. So only positive half will appear here, and it will be exactly similar to this signal. It is only 1/2 cycle it is passing because of the diode. Okay. So at here no load voltage will be this guy. Okay, and means it will be Vm sin omega t, but at 0 to pi omega t. Okay, this will be the, and for this kind of signal we have seen it is similar to this kind, so Vm by pi will be the average value, which is VDC, and no load I'll write because of there is no load. So we got this value VDC no load, which is Vm by pi. Now I will look for full load value. Now full load value is directly we can see. So we have calculated this in second. So VDC was Im into RL divided by pi, or this was also IDC RL. Okay, so if I'll write in terms of Vm, so Vm divided by pi RL plus RS plus RF. Okay, this is now full load. Okay, full load means there will be a load like this. So we are for this voltage is focusing on here. Okay, this voltage is Vs, which is this guy, but this voltage we are calculating, which we have already calculated, just I am writing it again. This will be the value. Now if you will plug the value in voltage regulation, what you will get is no load is Vm by pi minus this voltage is Vm by pi RL plus RS plus RF, okay, divide by full load, again this guy Vm by pi RS plus RL plus RF, and there is RL as well. Okay, RL. So now Vm by pi will get cancelled from numerator and denominator. What you will get is 1 minus RL divided by RL plus RS plus RF divided by RL divided by RL plus RS plus RF. Okay, if you will simplify it, what you will get is, I will remove this now. What you will get is, in percentage will be, sorry, not in percentage, in percentage this should be multiplied with 100. Okay, in percentage. So this is just a numerical value, sorry for that. Okay, it's a numerical value. In percentage you have to multiply with 100. So what you will get is RS plus RF, I have taken LCM, okay, divided by RL. Okay, this will be the voltage regulation, and if you want in percentage, multiply with 100. Okay, this will be the expression for voltage regulation for this guy, half wave rectifier. So it depends upon the secondary resistance, RF resistance, the forward resistance of diode, and load resistance. Okay, so I will write it properly. So I'll remove this all. So voltage regulation is RS plus RF divided by RL into, this is numeric value, and in percentage VR is RS plus RF divided by RL into 100. Okay, this is for half wave rectifier. I hope it is clear how I calculated it. Okay, and one more thing I want to mention here. I guess when I was talking about this voltage VDC, okay, when I was talking about this voltage VDC, I gave a curve like this, which I used, and this was Vm, and I wrote average the VRMS value for this at the voltage appearing here was equal to Vm by pi, Vm by 2. Okay, and VDC is Vm by pi. This is what I wrote, but that is for idle case. Okay, what we have calculated here, when we calculated VDC, Im RL divided by pi, and we put Vm divided by pi RL RS plus RL plus RF in this case, and in this case VDC, these two. Okay, here I have assumed that the idle diode is idle, and there is no forward resistance, and this is also not appearing, means the resistance of the secondary resistance is also very less. I have assumed that. Okay, that's why the difference in the expression is coming. If you will ignore this guy and this guy, so RL and RL will get cancelled, means RS and RF equal to 0, RL will get cancelled, and you will get Vm by pi. That is because I have ignored during that time I ignored the resistance across secondary resistance and the forward resistance. I have considered idle transformer and idle diode, and that's the reason you have this difference. Okay, so always remember that So always remember, when we are ignoring the values of RS and RF, sometimes it happens that RS and RF are very less than compared to RL, and that time we ignore usually. But if the in question it is given that the value of RS and RF, then you should use it. Okay, but here it was not required. You saw that for no load case we calculated Vm by pi, because there will not a current in the circuit, so there won't the RS and RF value will not appear in no load condition, and that's the reason we use this guy. But when we calculated for full load, it was a complete path and this resistance were coming into play, so we took this expression, okay, instead of directly taking Vm by pi. So this is an important point, it makes confusion sometime. So when we have to ignore these resistances, you have to be careful. Okay. Okay, so let's look at next property, which is peak inverse voltage, PIV. So that is just a maximum reverse bias voltage that a diode applied across the diode, so that it can work safely. It can work and operate safely. Okay, means it will not go into the breakdown region. So we have to check what should be the maximum reverse bias voltage appearing across this diode in the negative half cycle. So when the negative half cycle is going, so this will be negative, this will be positive, this is Vm, diode will be off. So you look from this side, okay, look from this side, you have Vm value. Since there is no current, so there won't be any voltage across this resistance, so you can see only Vm is appearing across the diode. And don't bother about sign, because the reverse bias voltage includes the sign as well. So PIV is Vm, that is peak inverse voltage. Means if you apply the voltage in reverse bias mode greater than Vm, then your diode will go into breakdown and it will not operate safely. Okay, so in reverse bias region, you have to be careful that whatever input you are applying is not greater than Vm, else your diode will break down and diode will not work properly. So that is one thing, means that is the voltage we are looking for. Okay, this PIV is Vm. So after looking from here, we saw only Vm is appearing, so maximum voltage Vm it can tolerate in reverse bias direction. If in reverse bias the voltage applied will be more than Vm, then it will break down and it will not work. So that voltage is Vm PIV, and which is equal to Vm for half wave rectifier. Okay, simple. Okay, next two properties are as follows. So this is short properties, form factor and peak factor. So form factor is the ratio of the RMS value to the average value of the current, this current. Okay, similarly peak factor is the ratio of the peak value to the RMS value of the current, this current. Okay, they are quantities. So sometimes we try to compare the RMS and average value or peak value, so that is what it compares of the load current. So we know RMS value is Im by 2, and average value, that is DC value, is Im by pi. So if you divide it, Im will get cancelled, so it will be pi by 2, which comes out to be 1.57. Okay, peak factor is peak value of the current divided by RMS value of the current. Peak value is Im, RMS value is Im by 2, so peak factor comes out to be 2. Okay, now we will look for more important properties, that is efficiency and transformer utilization factor. Okay, let's look at the next property, which is efficiency. So efficiency is DC power delivered to the load divided by input AC power to this load. Okay, so if you will plug the value, you will get IDC square RL divided by IRMS square into RL plus RS plus RF. This will be the input AC power, this will be the DC power delivered to the load. Now considering RL is very greater than RS plus RF, this will get cancelled. So approximately eta will be equal to IDC square divided by IRMS square, which is Im divided by pi square, Im divided by 2 square, and if Im will get cancelled and you will get 0.406 or 40.6%. Okay, so eta can be less than equal to 40.6%. Mind you, this is the special case, this is the exact expression. Okay, I have taken a special case where RL is very greater than RS plus RF, and in that case I got efficiency 40.6%, and this is the maximum you can get in half wave rectifier. Either it will be equal to 40.6 or it will be less than 40.6, okay, depending upon these values. But at max what can happen, RL will be very greater than the sum of these two resistances, RS and RF, and in that case it is almost equivalent to saying eta is equal to IDC square divided by IRMS square. Okay, and in that case you will get 40.6%. Okay, so let's look at the confusing property which I feel is transformer utilization factor. It tells you how well the transformer is used in the circuit, okay, to deliver power to the load. After all, load is our hero, means our subject. For load only we are doing all this. So how well the transformer is being used, that is what you have to see here. That is what it tells, TUF. Now here we calculate the DC power across load with respect to AC power at secondary and AC power at primary. Okay, so now what I want to mention here is first thing is, with respect to primary, if you will see the power ratio, it is exactly equal to efficiency. This is because you have maximum power, maximum efficiency is equal to 40.6 degree percent. 40.6% will be the efficiency. It is the maximum efficiency. I should write eta max. Okay, this is eta max. So it means that maximum power that can be transferred, means like maximum efficiency you can get in half wave rectifier is 40.6%, and this is as if you are taking the ratio between the power, DC power at output load at load to the AC power at the primary, because this is the feeder, this is the main guy who's feeding everything. So at max you can have 40.6%, means this is thinking as if primary is providing the input power. Okay, I don't have the proof of this thing, but you can imagine in this logic, with this logic, okay, that it is providing the maximum efficiency to the load. Now the second thing is, with respect to secondary, if you will see, which is this guy, so we know about the secondary AC power. PDC is same, IDC square RL divided by secondary power will be Vm divided by root 2 into Im divided by 2. Current will be one half cycle, and voltage will be of both the half cycles will be, we are talking here, okay, in this region. So I hope it is clear. So you plug the value of Vm here. So Vm is Im into RL plus RS plus RF, and Im is already there, that's why square, divided by 2 root 2, okay, IDC square RL. Now you put the value of IDC Im divided by pi, and Im divided by pi, and you will get value 0.28 into RL divided by RS plus RF plus RL. And if you will consider RL is very greater than sum of these two, then this will cancel and you will get 0.28%, 0.28 or you can say 28%. Okay, means only 28% of power, 28% of means you can say 28 transformer utilize, it is utilizing the transformer. 28% is the utilization of the transformer, you can say secondary side. Now how you will choose, which one you will choose, either this or this, that is what we will see. So that is what it has to do with these um, the signals. I'm not sure about this, but I'll just tell you to look on this topic, transformer utilization factor, because it is a bit confusing. Okay, it depends upon the something called signal at 360 degree, and there will be a phase change of 180 degree here. Okay, you can see that. So because of that you choose only the secondary one, this guy. Okay, and if there will be a phase between there will be no phase difference between these two, you will take the sum average of these, which will happen in full wave rectifier. But for here you will have only this guy. So transformer utilization factor for half wave rectifier is 28%, not 48.6%, because there is a difference in the phase. Uh, I know it doesn't sound exactly similar to the reason might not seem satisfying. Uh, Believe me, I am also confused with this logic, that there will be a phase change, because if there will be a phase change, everything will change. Okay, so please look upon this thing when we take the average and when we don't take. In this case, I am telling you this is the transformer utilization factor, that is 28% for half wave rectifier, and we don't touch the primary thing. Okay, this will be useful when we will be dealing with full wave rectifier. Okay, I'm sorry for that again. This especially this transformer utilization factor is weak for me. I will suggest you to look upon multiple textbooks or sources and find the reason for this. Okay, why we only take the secondary side's transformer utilization factor, not the primary side, and why we don't take the average of these two. We will take it in a full wave rectifier because of the same phases, but I don't think that is the best explanation, to be frank. Okay, so please make a star mark of this. You have to look for multiple sources for this transformer utilization factor. Okay, and so now we will move on to full wave rectifier.